Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a yoga posture called Gomukhāsana. This is Sanskrit for the cow muzzle pose or the cow face pose. Go is Sanskrit for cow, Mukha is Sanskrit for face, and Asana is Sanskrit for posture. This posture is listed in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, a yoga text which I have mentioned in previous videos, and it's listed as the second asana. It says placing the right ankle on the left side and the left ankle on the right side makes Gomukhāsana having the appearance of a cow. Now that being said, there are a few different translations of this text, and Sanskrit is a sacred language which is not always to be literally translated. So the translations of Sanskrit, which we find in English, are like as close as it gets. So this can make that there can be different translations and not making the translations necessarily wrong, but there may be a few differences, and this causes there to be a few different ways in which the certain postures end up being practiced, and this is the case for Gomukhāsana. Another thing you may have noticed, they don't say anything about what to do with the arms. So yogis got a bit creative and created many different variations of this posture. So I will show you 5 variations of this posture which can have different effects, activating different chakras. Yes, and yes, you can practice them all. You can pick which one you like best. There are many benefits overall to this posture. Mostly they strengthen all your joints and they increase your flexibility. They open up your chest, especially when doing the variations with your arms at the back. They cleanse and purify your lungs. They improve the circulation in the chest. It's also great for developing your personality, because the way that this posture opens you up makes it so that you become a little bit more open, and it is relatively favorable to have an open personality. Of course, not always, but I hope I make myself understood when I say that. What else? Yes, it exercises like the fibers in the thighs, so it's really good for toning your thighs. It's good for relieving chronic knee pain. However, if you have a knee injury, just recover first. But if you have just pain around the knee that is not caused by an injury, this posture can help to relieve that. Flexibility again in all the joints, especially the ankles. And I will speak more about the activation at the level of the chakras when I demonstrate each of the variations, because the activation of the chakras is different depending on which variation you choose to practice. So, to name also the contraindications for this posture, do not practice this posture if you have any hip, quadricep, shoulder, neck, any joint injury. Don't perform this posture. Also, if you're pregnant, don't perform this posture, because the way that you cross the legs may create some, it adds pressure on the lower abdominal area, which is not favorable for the baby. Okay, so let's begin with the demonstrations of 5 of these variations. So beginning, so remembering what the Hatha Yoga Pradipika said, they said left ankle on the left side, no, right, they say first right ankle on the left side, left ankle on the right side. So as you see, so you do the right one first. Here, it's ideally you have the knees on top of each other as much as possible, and the feet kind of parallel with each other, so not like one like this or super misaligned. Just try to have them as super misaligned. Well, just trying to have them as aligned as possible. So this is the leg position, your spine is straight, and now here come a few variations. So if you were to take it like traditionally, you could just place your hands here, for example, and here The chakra activation is happening at the level of Muladhara chakra, the root chakra, with earth energy coming in from the left, through the left leg, and you do it left and right, meaning it's a polar posture, so this one is activating the left, so the yin aspect. When you would do the other one, you would basically switch the legs around, having the right one on top, this time activating the more yang aspect of Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. Okay, but now we were talking about the variations, right? So this is one, but there's a few other things that you could do. You can raise the left arm, and then at the back you put the right one at the back, and then you grab a hold of your hands at the back. Like, you can help your right hand here, and you begin with the left, because you also remember, like the same leg that you put up, you do the same with the arm up, and you grab a hold. Now, if you can't reach, just grab any kind of prop, like a scarf, or if you have a yoga like belt or something, then you can just grab it, having a little bit of tension, not too much. Otherwise, if you can interlace your fingers, then do so. Your spine is straight, so not over arch, but you're also not slouching. That's rather common, so your spine is straight. So when you practice this variation of the posture, you add the activation of the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. So this is the heart chakra, the chakra of love, and again, because you're doing left and right, this time having the left arm up, you're activating the left side, the yin aspects of the heart chakra. Also, when you choose to do this with your arms, you increase the circulation in your chest. It's very purifying for the lungs, especially if you perform it for longer periods of time, like at least 6 or 7 minutes, and then gradually even increasing this, because you kind of lightly collapse the right one. You're not actively trying to do that, but it just happens because of putting your arms in this position, and you open up the left. So if you then even start to deepen your breath, it's like you make the left side work a little bit more than it would normally, and this has a very purifying effect. So again, you can then, when you want to do the yang side, you switch the legs around, and you would do the same with your arms with the right side. And then another variation is called Hasta Gomukhāsana. So Hasta means hands, and in this one, so the legs stay the same. You can again do like left and right, and then you basically like put the elbows behind your head, and you lower the chin a little bit, and you basically do this with your hands, like the palms are facing down, and if the right leg is on top, then your right arm goes first, like so, like stretching them out a little bit. For me, this one feels a little bit awkward. I haven't really practiced it much, but it's just to show you that it's one of the variations that does exist. I personally find it a little bit constraining for here, but it does stretch out different parts of your arms and your back, and it is, you know, still doing what the text says, so it's just a different variation. Yes, I again haven't practiced it much, so I haven't been able to enjoy much of the benefits, and I would only speak to that if I've actually experienced that. Yes, so there's that one. Then you have one called Vajra Gomukhāsana, which is actually the one I practice the most. So you would come to sit in Vajrasana with the knees together, and here you sit between your heels, and you leave a small space between the toes if you would like to keep this polarity of energy and charge your being, or if you would like to have it more like the energy more centered, then you can also cross the feet over each other. So just, you know, pick something, and then I would recommend that you just like stick to the style that you pick for a while to really get the effects, instead of like, you know, picking and choosing here and there a little bit from everything. That can get a little bit chaotic in practice. So, you know, pick something, stick to it, see how that works for you. If that doesn't work for you, then change it up. Okay, so you would sit in Vajrasana, and then you would do the same with your arms as I explained before, grabbing them at the back. If you need a prop, use a prop. You begin with the left side, and here, because of Placing the legs this way, the energy tends to go more upwards. So this variation of the posture works more strongly on Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, and it doesn't work on Muladhara chakra and the root chakra. So if you want to focus just on Anahata chakra, you can practice this variation of the posture, like so, and switching the arms around when you want to do the yang side. Your chin is parallel with the mat, not like slouching, just close your eyes, try to relax in the posture. Don't slouch, like the elbow is pointing directly upwards. Try to have your body as aligned as possible, spine straight, chest open, not overarching again. Having as much so here I have like my left elbow pointing down and my right elbow pointing up as much as possible. Sometimes what I've seen often is sometimes when people start relaxing in the posture, they start kind of like slouching. So you are relaxed but active at the same time. That's a big thing in Hatha yoga. There's this comfortable balance, like you're like on this edge of balance and effort, or you alternate balance. Did I say balance? Comfort and effort, I meant, yes? So it's like you're meant to be comfortable in the posture while still being active and awake in it. Yeah. So that's Vajra Gomukhāsana. There's also Maha Vajra Gomukhāsana. So Maha is like the great, Vajra is again like diamond or thunderbolt, and then Gomukhāsana keeping the same name. And in this variation, so again, you can either have the feet together or closed, but you are actually like grabbing a hold of the entire hand. So I'm not really totally there yet. I think I can do it with the other hand. It requires a little bit more flexibility, but they basically grab a hold of the entire hand, and if possible, even at the wrist. I can't fully demonstrate it because I'm not there yet. That's again not the variation that I practice the most. And there was, there's one more. Yes, so I could have done that with the legs crossed. So it's among the variations that I was explaining in the beginning with the legs crossed. This one is called Baddha Gomukhāsana. Baddha is bound. And in this one, you actually, okay, let's begin with the yin side. So I put the left leg on top, right at the bottom. And in this one, so the bind is coming like that. You grab your right hand and you grab your left toe with that, and you grab your left hand and you grab your right toe with it. And actually here it becomes a little bit awkward to stay straight, then your toes can go up and it feels a little bit contracted. So what you do is that when you have the left leg on top, you actually twist a little bit to the left while still trying to keep straight. I'm not like perfectly demonstrating this posture. You're meant to be a little bit more straight. I don't practice this one very much because I don't like the way I feel kind of like contracted in the posture. I like the variation that opens up my chest more. However, this is great for flexibility, and it kind of like stretches your lower spine a bit more and increases the flexibility in your lower spine. And then on the other side, you're having the right one on top, crossing them over like this, and then actually, oh no, that's what I was, yes, so when you have the left one on top, you actually twist, that's why it felt so awkward, excuse me for that. So when you have the left one on top, you actually twist to the left. You twist along to the side of the leg, which is on top. Still a little bit contracting in the chest, and then with the right one on top, you would twist gently towards the left. You can try both. You can try to be straight. It's not really described in the text. I just wanted to show you all the variations that I've learned so far of Gomukhāsana. Perhaps there are a few more. I felt maybe 5 serves the purpose for this video. So I hope you enjoy this posture in any of its variations, perhaps all of its variations. I hope it serves you. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, please go ahead and click like, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in. May you be well, may you be healthy, may you be happy, and may you be free. Namaste.